What's up, everybody? So many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. This is Mike, this is Pete, this is Paradise Season 2, episodes 1, 2, 3. Now, we weren't sure how we were going to film this. We were talking about doing it, multi episodes, every two episodes. Then I said, let's do one, and then the final by itself. And then we finally just said, you know what? They're coming out in a group, in a pack of three, a trio. So let's just let the trio play out. So we'll have a lot of filler to discuss. But before we get there and our theories, Mike, what's up?
Hello, hello everyone. Glad you could join us and in listening to our Paradise Talk.
So I'm just going to ask you this question quickly. Did you feel that the nosebleeds were significant?
Yes. Well, I have a feeling that they're going to
Okay,
become
now
significant.
now here's what I thought before we get into like the meat of everything. Okay, good. Okay, so going. Okay, so originally my theory was because so in these episodes we're not going to go in order. We're just going to kind of slingshot back and forth. So they show you the people outside surviving, and they showed you like there was the cloud of volcanic ash that kind of blocked the sun, which caused kind of like an ice age, so to speak, or a
Yep.
version of it. And we saw that was part of like the damage. And so I felt like it was a big thing from the atmosphere, so to
Okay.
speak, that the atmosphere is a certain way. So now, in just to go to where my theory was before we get to what I read up, the video was. So I'm thinking now that Xavier is nosebleed, but he was in the bunker the whole time, a different atmosphere. Then he got released out of the bunker, and now he's out in the open, and that's the atmosphere, right?
Hmm.
Now you have Link who wanted to go back to the bunker, but Link, I mean, I wasn't Link. No, did Link have the nosebleeds
Yeah,
too?
Link was having the nosebleeds. Yep.
Yes. So Link had the nosebleeds. Okay. Yes. So Link had the nosebleeds. Link was in the bunker and then outside the bunker is what was my belief here. Because if
I
you my
don't know.
the part we didn't get to, because look, you have Xavier with the nosebleed, right? And then you
Yep.
had that guy Billy with the nosebleed,
He
and
didn't
then
have
you
the
had Link
nosebleed
with the
until
nosebleed.
yeah, but
My
he didn't get the nosebleed. Billy didn't get the nosebleed until he came across Link as a younger kid.
Well, yes. Okay. So my original theory is that if you're in the bunker and then you leave the bunker, you get a nosebleed. So that would be like, oh no, the theory could be Link has been in the bunker the whole time. Now, I don't know if that's what you got from that. So why don't you tell me what you thought about the nosebleeds?
What I thought of the nosebleeds is that there's some relation to Link from the nosebleeds. It's not just being outside of the bunker from being inside the bunker, because we saw that Billy was having the nosebleeds before the bunker was even created. He killed these two people before the bunker was even starting in construction,
Which
if I'm
was
not
my
mistaken.
which was also my second theory, which I felt like was interesting but kind of crazy, that Link was actually part of. So they said something about a secret prison, and
Yes.
maybe in the secret prison they were siphoning off the energy to do experiments on making somebody super soldier or super being or whatever the case is. Was Link in there, and was that done to him? And
Oh,
that's why he's
okay.
out there now. And then when you connect with him, but it's just like I said. There's all now. However, I was looking at videos and I did come across another video that had an interesting theory based on the first three episodes. And let me just pull it up the right way because I want to give it the right credit that it needs to get. So it's New Rock Stars is the name of the YouTube channel. And basically, with all the clues that they unraveled, they said it's a form of time travel.
Oh, okay.
And that Sinatra's experiments were, or Sinatra siphoned off energy for experiments in time travel. And that's why the guy who Billy killed and then let Link go, who happened to be the boy,
Yep.
remember when he said, "Here's a tissue, you're gonna need this, and don't you think things happen for a reason?
Yes.
And just do me a favor, when the boy comes, don't kill him."
Yep.
So, is this some sort of experiment in time travel
Oh, okay.
that the guy who sold the company that Billy killed, I don't know his name.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name either.
I know him as Phil from Lost, the TV show Lost,
Oh,
but
there you go.
is this like a thing where he gets because he said my research is in quantum linear whatever blah 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 blah. So has
Okay.
this scenario always played out where he tried different ways to save his wife and he
Oh,
can't save his wife because so he keeps going back in time to try to save his wife, and this guy keeps showing up to kill him at the same time, and he kills the boy in certain scenarios, so he's trying to keep going back in time to make the right scenario.
oh, wow.
And is that why Link said we have to go back and kill Alex? Because if Alex lives, what to do with the time travel,
Yep.
then it changes the whole world is. You know what I'm saying? Is there a future where Alex? So it brought up the idea of a time travel, and that Xavier, Link, and Billy are all part of the time travel, and that's why they get in the nosebleeds. Because remember, if you saw the end of one of the episodes, it's Link leading the way, walking, and Xavier's walking with him.
Yeah, it looks like it, or he keeps getting the visions of that. Yes.
So is that a future vision or is that a past vision? And
I don't
how do
know.
we know?
I didn't think of that. I thought maybe it was more like a memory implantation thing. I wasn't thinking time travel. I was thinking like they're all connect their mental states are connecting in some way, and maybe it is a future event. But I wasn't thinking time travel.
You
So
see, and that's why I told you I didn't want to send you the video ahead of time. I wanted to introduce the time travel theory here in front of you
okay,
live to see what your thought. Because to me, it opened up a whole new can of worms. Because I had one theory here, theory A, theory B. Now there's theory C. However, he goes theory D now,
yeah.
which was also part of this video at the end, which stated that maybe it's not necessarily the people time traveling. Could it be that the bunker is actually named Alex?
Oh,
And the
okay.
bunker
Or there's
Alex is meant to travel through you because maybe the outside they're trying to travel, move the bunker
oh,
through
okay.
different time and space to a
Interesting.
parallel universe. Could that be it? And Link wants to go kill Alex or get rid of Alex, and Alex isn't necessarily the girl. Alex is the bunker. That's the time travel experiment named after the guy's wife who died, who he couldn't save.
Okay, or maybe Alex is an
Now these are all theories. So
acronym for some computer program that's inside of the bunker too. Yeah, it
yes,
could be. I mean, it could be a bunch of
something along the
stuff.
lines like a AI time travel, and that's why I said the show is so much more interesting since I saw that video because now I'm like, oh my God, if that's true, how can this work? And it's kind of like very familiar with the TV show Lost, where you try to start unraveling clues and figure it out, and then you're going back to see like when they showed you a map of this and when they showed you a map of that, and you go back to season one and you see the details, and now you're trying to see if the information from season one matches season two, because even if it doesn't match, like in season two, we saw the Mississippi River overrun Arkansas. What if in season one it didn't? But because they went back in time, it changed the things. Similar to what? The Back to the Future, where it was the Twin Oaks Mall or something like that, and then it was the One Oaks Mall
One pine, yes,
because they ran
pines.
over the tree with the car. Yes.
Yep.
I'm talking about the pines. Yes, because they
Yes,
ran over the
pines.
car. So people are like, oh, it's an error. It's an error. And no, it's not an error. They're trying to show you that that's the butterfly effect. And
Yep.
speaking of butterfly effect, we all know that, I just thought it was like, or the pressure of the atmosphere changing, was pushing down on certain people and causing people.
Yep.
So it could be anything. They didn't really unveil it, but why would they unveil it?
Yeah, exactly. It's too early to
I also
unveil
thought it was
that.
interesting that the girl who's my favorite, the agent that kills everybody,
Yeah,
that
Jane.
killed Billy. What's her name?
Jane.
Jane. I love her. So I think she's beautiful, and I think she's an amazing character and an amazing
Agent
assassin.
Killer.
So yeah, she's great. Yeah, Agent Killer, exactly. So that was, like I said, that was cool when the breath mint thing came into play. I need to tell
Yeah,
this guy he needs a breath mint. Like, but how does Sinatra even know that was all going to play itself out?
probably because she already brought Jane in under her wing and told her about that plan. That's
Also,
maybe that's how that she got Sinatra to kill Billy is she told Jane Billy needs a breath mint.
Also, here's two things that I thought about too. The way the lady was interrogating Sinatra and phrased those questions, she allowed Sinatra to answer no and get away with it because are you using those things to siphon off power for your personal gain?
Yep.
She never asked her the specific correct question. So, but then she planted a recording device in the photo
Yep.
in her room. So I believe that they all know what's really going on here, and they're all keeping it a secret from the rest of the bunker.
Hmm.
And that's why Link wants to go in and do what he's doing. And that's why, like I said, that's what I think is
Yeah.
going on. I think there's something. But did Link escape the bunker? Like, oh, I'm gonna go. And the weird thing with the girl, who too now, let's not forget what's her name, Anne.
The woman from the first episode, yes, Annie.
Yes, there was a whole episode about her
Yes.
surviving through the Graceland area. She had sex with Link once, and now she has a kid.
Yes. I didn't think Link was in the bunker. Or maybe now that you're mentioning, I only watched these episodes one time through, but maybe because they know there's a bunker. But I thought they said something about they heard that there might be a bunker. If Link knew there was a bunker, he probably would have said something about it. But
But what if they
oh,
heard there was a bunker because Link started that room because he knew there's a bunker?
yeah, true. Either way.
Just like for example, Xavier got out of the bunker.
Yes.
So I
And
don't
we know
know.
and we know that Billy had left the bunker at certain times to go out and eliminate targets. Yeah, I did like seeing
Yes.
the flashbacks. At least we get to see some more Billy in this season, which is good because obviously he gets killed off in season one. But so I'm happy that we get to see some flashback scenes with him
I
in
thought
the
it was
first
cool.
few
They showed you
episodes.
the scene where like how it all the shit when the shit all hit the fan and like how it just happened out of nowhere where they're like, oh, volcano, super volcano here, and then all of a sudden like you're actually trying to figure out like what, and then all of a sudden there's like a sonic boom that like rocks you, and then now it's like instant panic.
Yes.
How do you survive?
Exactly. I mean, all three of these episodes, it keeps you on the edge of your toes type of thing. It's like the first episode was this was the first three ep years of Annie's situation with dealing with everything, and I was really sad to see they killed off Gail right off the bat. I mean, obviously she survived a month and a half with that injury, but once it was like 26 days or something like that, and she still wasn't getting any better, I'm like, they're gonna kill her
It
off.
was a slow. You knew it was going to be a slow death, and
Yeah,
but and then
unfortunately.
so what do you think? You think he's? You told me in the chat that you think he's not going to make it back to Colorado at the end of the season.
If it's either going to be one of a few things, either he's got to bring Annie back to Colorado and he won't get to Atlanta to find his wife, or he's going to try to convince Annie to go with him to Atlanta first. Maybe they got aircraft there they can use to get back to Colorado. But I just don't see, like I texted you, I don't see him finding his wife by the end of the season, or at least getting to Atlanta to find his wife by the end of the season.
So we know there's 8 episodes, and we have
Yep.
three down already.
Yep.
I believe they. So they're in Arkansas, and right now she found him in Arkansas.
Yes.
So we were also told that Arkansas is AKA no man's land.
Yep.
So who's gonna come now, and who would they have to fight and kill together to earn each other's trust and respect before they get to go where they're going?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's those guys that or the guy that was trying to take out Xavier there. I don't know what group or faction he's with, but he said he's been tracking the boys for days or whatever. The boys living in the boat or
Yes.
kids. It wasn't just boys, it was kids because there was a couple girls there, if not mistaken. But yeah, so the kids being living in that boat or whatever, and but so I don't know what bad guys because we saw two guys that were checking out the wreckage after Xavier crashed.
Isn't it always a weird scene when you see like a boat on land just out of place?
Yes, definitely.
And shout out to Lost, the TV show Lost with the Black Rock. If you're a Losty, you know what I'm talking about, Richard Alpert. But yeah, no, that was a similar situation where there was like a big tidal wave and the boat ended up on the land, and then the water recesses, and then like, oh look, there's a boat here. Like, how did that happen? You just never think about it like that. But yeah, no, there's a lot of little nuggets in this show, and this is one of those shows where some it's nice that it's weekly now because we have time to like break it down and discuss theories, and I have time to watch YouTube videos and come up with different theories. But you could have also dropped all 8 episodes at once, and I would have got there I would have got there 2 hours earlier and not have to look up a YouTube video. But Hulu's got to make their money, figure out their ways too, and that's the way they want to do it.
Exactly.
But I thought it was a really good first 3 episodes. The show's really good. They found a way to open it up significantly where I feel like they were kind of trapped last season and they kind of was like, okay, yeah, Xavier's leaving the bunker, but now what? But now, first season one was just the bunker life and we didn't know anything outside the bunker and the building of the bunker. Now we're in season two. And like I was telling you, this is a way to get season 3, 4, 5, and 6 out of this because now you're bringing different characters and the possibility of, even if the theory is correct about time travel, then you can do whatever. And
Hmm.
let's not forget you got Jeremy now, who just met up with the creator of the bunker, who knows every single nook and cranny in the bunker or every failsafe there is, and
Yep.
they want to expose the lies also. So what lies are we exposing? And I was trying to look to see for any clue that we could get about like where he was going. Was he going to one of these secret prisons that's the ciphering gas off of, and what are we going to see from there?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it looks like the holding area is like levels below the bunker, so curious to see what
Yes,
that's
there's,
going to
there's
be.
a lot, and then, it's kind of. It also reminds me of like the TV, like the series Snowpiercer, because you're thinking, okay, it's a train. How big can it be? But the train has like 1,104 cars long, and the cars are, they had a basement level, and like they had a first class situation, like
It's like a
they had,
cruise ship of trains.
Yes, so if you really want to, you can create space anywhere. So this bunker was created, but like we said, we don't know what's going on. We just know like when they were building it, they had like people getting sick. So let's not forget that aspect.
Yep.
And then I'm also thinking, is that secret siphon gas off a way to, because they said something to try. I believe they mentioned in the past, like it's to save the world or to try to save. So are they like trying to heal stuff? And that's why this guy opened up. And is that this guy's company that he, what is this guy's company?
Yeah.
No, this guy got killed for his company. That's quantum entanglement or whatever the case may be. But, we haven't really seen what that company does and where it is. But that was, is that inside? Was that inside the bunker? Was that before the bunker or after the bunker? Like,
I think it was before the bunker.
so if that's before the bunker, yes, that would make a lot of sense on time travel.
Yep. The other thing too I picked up on is that depending on how long the series is going to be, whoever that professor or doctor person that Sinatra was talking to was saying that, if people survive that first wave, it's just the beginning. They'll want to wish they were dead then because
Yes.
the whole world is going to heat up in like an instant almost. It'll start off with like a few degrees here and there, but then all of a sudden, boom, So it's going to, you went from like a cold age and then it's going to be a, what, planet killer type of
Heat
heat
wave.
wave? Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too now is that the end of the season going to be Xavier getting to the bunker and like trying to be let in, and the heat wave is about to burn him to death, and then like the door starts to open and you go to cliffhanger ending like
Yeah, I just so
so.
like I said, I hope he finds Terry, at least gets to Terry. I love the what was it the third or second episode where you got to see how they meet. I think it was the second episode because he kept having the flashbacks when you're seeing Terry, but how they met in the hospital there and how he kind of just stuck around until she fell in love with him or something.
So predictions. I'm asking you a question about a prediction for the next few episodes. Are we going to see like since the president is now dead, is Sinatra just going to be like the new boss in power and just acting president, just walk around and back to her normal self and scheme, and then that's how we get there? Because season one they shot her, and then season two they brought her back to life because. And they did a good story. The
Yes.
whole Xavier took the blame for it, and
Yep.
and then Sinatra knows that Jane did it, but plays it off anyway because Jane's her assassin.
Yep. Not only that,
So
but Robinson is going to be in trouble for the murder of the president here. And yeah, Jane marked an X on the back of the president, so it makes it look like
yes.
that Robinson's a part of his group, which she is, but now Jane's outing her as a bad
Yes,
guy.
but now
So,
who's going to watch Xavier's kids?
yeah, I know that's the other question I have. Is it going to be Jane? Is it going to be Sinatra? Or,
Which is why I think there is also a possibility that like Xavier and the girl might end up at the bunker sooner than we think.
hopefully,
Like
because yeah, his
episode five, they might get to the bunker. She'll have the baby, and then he'll go back out,
yeah.
or he'll have to face prosecution for
Yeah.
killing or shooting attempted murder on Sinatra.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that if Sinatra's in charge and there is no Robinson to look over Xavier's kids, that they might wind up back down in that holding cell as well with Jeremy and everybody as well. But
You want to
yeah,
know my honest
so
opinion right now that we're breaking it down like this? It seems to me that season one, they were like, when Hulu told the writers, you got one season probably. So Hulu wrote the show, the writers wrote the show for Paradise to be one full season, where even if you left it with him going out there to look for whatever, the bunker story's over, Sinatra's dead, this and that and the other. Then they were probably like, yo, your show is like very popular. A lot of people are talking about it and watching it, and it's got good views and good numbers. We're going to renew you for a second season. So now you got to take the old story, make it work with the same characters, and open up a newer, wider, bigger version. Your ultimate plan that you probably started off with, but didn't have the longevity yet. Now you have the
yeah,
longevity to tell your story. I'm just seeing it just seems like they
yeah.
because why shoot Sinatra in episode one? I mean, it's season one at the end and kill her. You could have
Well, she
left that
wasn't
with,
killed.
but
Even
she was
Jane said
shot.
that.
It
Well,
made it seem like
Jane
she was
says that
killed.
Jane said to her that, yeah, you're shot, but I didn't kill you, or I didn't shoot you to kill you. She just shot her to put her down for a little bit. I knew at the end of the first season that Sinatra wasn't going to die.
Yeah, I thought she was dead. So, for me, I was like, okay, they found a way to bring her back from the dead. That the bullet, missed her by an inch from the chest, and she's lucky. And now Jane got her back and feels bad, but doesn't feel bad because she's just a sick, crazy fucking motherfucker.
Well, Jane has something over Sinatra now, big time, which she'll use to her advantage. So, but if anything, what you're saying with maybe they only had one season in mind, knowing Dan Fogelman's history of writing shows, he didn't just have one season in mind. I'm pretty sure he had at least four, five,
So this
six
was the
seasons in
overall
mind.
vision to begin with.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, like I said, this is why we have mashups because it's an opinion. Everybody can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yes.
And that's it. Mike believes Fogelman didn't do it on purpose. I think it might be, we do one season because that's what Hulu's telling us we're probably going to get. And then, this is the vision I had originally, so now I have to figure out a way to make it all work. But you know what? You're in episode 4 of season 2, and it all works right now. So I'm not
Yeah,
complaining. It's
definitely.
one of my favorite shows currently actively that I'm watching. We cover multiple shows at So Many Shows, SoManyShows.com, So Many Mashups on YouTube, right? Is it So Many Mashups? No, So Many Shows YouTube.
Yeah, I post them to so many shows because we don't have our own channel yet on YouTube, but it's
We
kind
don't
of
want to
on
have
there
our
on
own
you.
channel. Why would we want to have
Exactly.
our own channel? We are part of So Many Shows, SoManyShows.com,
Exactly.
and we are currently posting all our shit on So Many Shows YouTube, so that's where you find us. But YouTube is easy way anyway. So, and Lincoln Lawyer, we have a lot of good stuff coming up from, we were talking about other jury duty,
Yes.
movies, we got all kinds of stuff lined up. Sports, we were talking about the MMA, go check it out. We have a, Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano preview, review. We're discussing possibly covering that live on YouTube as it goes, kind of a reaction piece, but we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Paradise will be covering, I would say now that we're 3 episodes in, we'll probably do 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 by itself because that'll be the big one with a lot of answers, and we'll have predictions for the next season and,
Or more
little things like
questions.
that. Yes.
We'll have some answers, but probably more questions too.
And like I said, hopefully, maybe if not this season, but by next season for Paradise, we could reach out to one of the writers and Mike can get himself a nice little interview and we could, add that on. But
Fingers
little by
crossed.
little, yeah, baby steps, people. Vote for us, listen to us, tell us what we did wrong, tell us what we did right, tell us your theory, time travel, atmospheric pressure, whatever Mike said. I didn't really listen to him, but so many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups, Paradise, season 2, episodes 1, 2, 3. Catch us for episodes 4 and 5. See you later, everybody.
Talk to you on the next one, everybody. Have a great week.